In this video, I'm going to be installing Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in my 2013 Lexus GS350. So the company that makes this is called Road Top, and I'm just going to say this costs $200 US exactly, like $199, so $200. And this competes with companies like BeatSonic, Hamilton, GTA Car Kits, Grom V-Line. There might be even more that I'm not remembering right now. For an example, the BeatSonic costs $750. I think Hamilton costs like $650 or somewhere around there, and GTA Car Kits costs like $550. Don't quote me on that exactly, but I know for a fact they're right around there. And like I said, this costs $200 US. This basically gives you the exact functionality of everything else I just mentioned, but for literally so much less money. So quickly, we'll do a little unboxing of this. You get two instruction manuals, one for the software and one for the actual installation. Here's the actual unit itself. This is what's actually going to give us Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And then lastly, this box is full of all the wires that we need to actually make this work. So now with that out of the way, let's actually go ahead and install this. So obviously first you have to disassemble some things. So let's start with the easiest and work our way to the hardest. So I'm going to first take off the shift knob because we do need to get under the actual center console. So to do that, pull down on the shift boot and then twist the shift knob off. Go ahead and put that wherever you want. And a few tools that you're going to need is a really stubby Phillips head screwdriver. You're definitely probably going to want some pry tools like this and a screwdriver with different bits that you can use, or just different types of flathead and Phillips head screwdrivers. So now I'm going to actually take apart the radio surround. So I'm just going to get one of my pry tools here and start prying at the top. Just be careful when you do this not to scratch anything. And then now that it's halfway off on the top, go ahead and kind of grab your hands around the bottom. Get your fingers in there, and then you can start pulling it out just like this. You can either leave this hanging out of the way. Make sure to not scratch it on the shift knob here. If you want, you can get some towels, microfibers, or literally a jacket, whatever you want, just so you don't scratch anything. So like I said, either you can hang this on the side, or you can actually go to the back here and squeeze the little connector. That way you can disconnect it, which that's what I'm going to do. Also, another quick thing to note is you probably should disconnect the negative terminal on your battery just to be on the safe side. I didn't do it. It's not mandatory, but if you're worried that you might mess something up, definitely go ahead and do it for your peace of mind. Now I'm going to take off these two leather trim pieces. So all you do is simply pull up on it, and it kind of slots in at a downward angle. So pull up and then pull out. Mine are a little hard to get out because I tried to fix some rattles before and I put some felt tape around all of the actual clips, so that's why I was struggling there. Now for the other side. There we go. All right, and once again, I forgot to mention something, but you're also going to need a 10mm ratchet. So to actually take the stereo out, there is literally only one bolt. It is on the left side. So for me, it's right under here. You can't see it, but I already went ahead and took that out. So it's very simple to take out now. Just pull on the radio from behind, kind of down below. And as you can see, it kind of comes out. Give it equal pressure on both sides, just like that. And now it is out. So I'm just going to put it back, but it's loose so I can take it out. Now we actually need to take all of this apart. So once again, I'm not sure if your car is right-hand drive, if these two bolts are here. They might be here, but either way, you can't miss them. Right where the shift boot is, there are two 10mm bolts. You can also use a Phillips head on them if you want. Go ahead and take those out, and that is kind of holding this whole thing in. Now I'm going to pull up from this side, and I'm going to try to give it equal pressure all around because I do not want to break anything. I'll try to pull over here as well. There we go, that is coming out now. So now I would just put this over here. You are also going to need to take out the cup holder because that kind of gets in the way of all of this. So to take the cup holder out, just pull upwards on it. Now that the cup holder is out, I will put it over here and I'll unplug it just to make my life a little bit easier. Now go ahead and take your stubby Phillips head screwdriver and go under here. There are going to be 3 plastic screws. I have no idea why Lexus made them plastic, but for some reason they did. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and turn them to unscrew them. Now I already have, and for some reason the actual clips that they screw into came out. Just for reference, this is what the screw looks like, and this is what holds them in place. Now mine felt stripped, they weren't, but for whatever reason they would not come out. I had to stick a pry tool in between here and the actual dash to kind of create pressure on it, and then I could unscrew them and actually get them out. And also when you're doing this, just be really mindful of this dash. Mine actually has this problem. Basically every single GS has it. It is the sticky dash issue, so be super careful when working over here. Get a microfiber if you don't feel comfortable. Just do something, because if you make a gouge or anything in this dash, it is literally not going to come out. So now that I have done that, I'm just going to get one of my pry tools and get it in between here again. Now this is very flexible. As you can see, it is bending a lot, but it's okay. Just don't literally pull super hard on it, but you want to pull down and kind of towards you. And once again, be really careful with your dash. There we go, the bezel is out. And now there are several 10mm bolts. I just went ahead and took one out. They actually hold the screen in place. I can't tell if there's 2 or 4. All right, so there were 4 bolts in there, not 2. And the 2 bottom ones are very hard to get to. If you don't have anything magnetic like I don't, then I use this, which you definitely probably don't have this if you don't have anything magnetic. But basically it's this little gripper. You press and then you let go and it grabs it. I've never used this for something like this, but I tried to get my hands in there for the bottom bolts and they literally would not fit. Now I do not want to risk dropping any bolts down there and having rattles for the rest of this car's life. Now that that is done, let's go ahead and grab the screen. Just kind of pull from the top and be super careful of your dash here. Now let's disconnect this. So there's 2 plugs on the back. There's 1, there's 2. Now that we have that done, let's go ahead and take out the radio. Slide that out, be super careful. I'm gonna put it down right here. And now I'm not just gonna disconnect everything because I'm pretty sure you don't have to. So I'm going to get my wires now. So one of the first wires we have is this absolutely massive one. Now it's pretty obvious where this goes on the back of the radio right here. It's hard to tell, but it's right there. Basically what this does is, as you can see, there's 2 of them. You take out the old connector, you plug this one in, and then you plug the old connector back into this. So that lets the stock radio still work. And then you have this additional wire feeding out, which actually connects to the row top unit. And just to explain how this works, I'm going to show you on the actual wire here because I can't really go over there. Basically, this clip is pushed down on this because it's locked in place. So pull up on that, that basically unlocks it, and then it will come right out. As you can see, it is disconnected. So I'm going to plug this one back in. And now, like I said, here is the new cable, and we're going to plug that back into the stock one. Go ahead and lock it in place. And here's the row top unit. So this really long cable that has a lot of wires on it, that plugs straight into the back here, right here. Plug that in. There we go. And then now let's get the harness. So once again, similar to that, it has 1 cord that you plug into the back of the screen, and then another cable that you connect the old cable to, and then another cable that actually goes to the unit. So I will plug this into the unit first. This really dark blue cable, this plugs into what's called LVDS. And then here is the screen again. Just like I mentioned, plug this into here. Now I'm not gonna do it yet because I need to route this behind here. There's a little hole, only a little one. That's how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to start putting this on top of this just because I don't know where else to put it right now. I'm going to route this cable through that little hole here. You can probably see my hand where it's going to come out. Just like that, there it is. And then I can plug that into there. And once again, I'm going to route the female adapter through that same hole. And I'm going to plug the old cable that originally went into the screen, and I'm going to plug it back into this. Now I'm going to work my way to install this back. So I'm going to tuck these cables back into here because that is getting in the way. So I'm going to pull them through because they don't need to be right here. And now I'm going to plug the black wire that went right here. And then lastly, this cable right here that kind of plugs into the back of the mouse control, take that out. And once again, we have the 3 situation here where we have a wire that replaces it. So this comes from this original harness here too. It's all connected. This is the literal biggest harness that comes in this kit. Go ahead and plug this into here, and then plug the old one back into the new harness. And now we have a huge mess going on, but now we're going to test this just to make sure it actually works. All right, so I just got done testing everything and it does work great now. I'll go ahead and start my car to show you. All right, so obviously we are in the Lexus software. So what you have to do to switch over to the actual unit software is you press map and you hold it for 3 seconds. So 1, 2, 3. And as you can see, it switches over. And you can actually hear a little click. Now, wherever you install it, you probably won't be able to. I can obviously hear it since mine is just kind of under there. Everything's a mess right now. I've just been testing things. This is actually filmed 2 days later. So like I said, we are in the unit software now, and basically this just works as a cursor, kind of like it does in the stock navigation software. So you have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all of these other things as well. And then if you hold down here and you go over here, you can go to setup and actually adjust settings. So it's pretty good. It actually works very well, but I did actually have to update the software. That's why I'm filming this several days later. And that was definitely a very annoying process, but part of it was my fault because my USB drives were faulty. It's very specific with how you have to do it. The software that comes on this out of the box, it actually is similar to the Lexus menu where it highlights stuff instead of being an actual cursor. And if I go back here now, it's just a cursor. So before it was highlighting stuff, and it was honestly very difficult to use, especially if you're in the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay interface. Now it being a cursor makes this 20 times easier to use. So if you do get this, you are 100% going to want to get that software installed. So I'm in the middle of editing the video and I kind of made it sound like the unit is unusable unless you upgrade the software, and that's not really true. You can definitely use it, and realistically you're only really going to be maybe playing and pausing music on it. You're really not going to use it that much. But obviously when you upgrade the software and you get the cursor, it is definitely a better experience. So if you do buy the unit and you decide I don't really like how the controls work, then definitely update it. I just wanted to say this real fast, that way you don't think it's unusable unless you update the software. Alright, now we need to find a place to actually install the unit. Now I've literally already tried 2 different places and failed. I literally filmed everything. So first I took the whole entire glove box out and I was going to kind of put it in between here. Maybe you could do it. I didn't really want to because there's a lot of heater pipes there and I just did not want to risk that. So then, because I already had the glove box out, I routed the wires all the way underneath of here and kind of had them come out in the middle. And I was going to try to put it in between here. So when you take the glove box off, you have to take this piece off as well. Well, there's some big module under there and I did not even see that. I should have checked. So I wasted like an hour and a half trying to get it to fit. I didn't want to do it because literally after I finally kind of finessed it in there, if I just bumped this, it would kind of fall down because of how much pressure is on it. So I'm just going to install it in between this carpet. This carpet's going to stick out a little bit. It is what it is. There's literally like nowhere else to install it. And that's not this thing's fault. That's just really any of these units. This car does not have many places to install it. So as you can see, I have all the wires routed here. I'm just going to shove them in there. Now don't put it too far back there because there are heater lines. So make sure you put it probably right around here. There's foam here. You could take it out, but I don't know how you're going to do that without ripping the carpet out. It's going to stick out a little bit, but it is what it is. So it's the next day again, and I finally finished installing everything. I did it all late last night, so I didn't really film much of it because of how dark it was. But either way, it was pretty straightforward. Obviously, like I said, I put it right down here. And now there is a bit of a lump there, which is all right. It doesn't really bother me, honestly. And that really is literally like the only place you can put it. And if you want to know how to reinstall everything, obviously it's pretty straightforward. You're basically just doing everything in reverse order. Obviously I installed the module first, then I bolted the screen back in and put the actual bezel around it. Then I bolted the radio in, I put all of this stuff back together, and that was basically it. And briefly, I'll walk you through how to actually update the software in this so you can get a way better experience. I'll put a bunch of pictures on the screen. That way you can actually see what I'm talking about. So there's 3 files that you have to install to actually fully update it. The first one is labeled L1mcu.bin. So what you do is you swipe over. Now on your unit, it's most likely going to be different if it does not ship with the newer software. So what you do is you go to Setup, then System, then Software Update, And then right here where it says MCU update. Now before you click that, go ahead and plug your USB in. And then this is what's going to be very odd. After you update that and the unit resets, you are not going to be able to use the joystick anymore. You literally will not be able to control anything. And now here's the trickier part with this specific car, because of the way the joystick works here. You have to update the other two files at once. If doing both at the same time doesn't work, then you can try doing it separately, but I highly doubt that will happen. Now you need to install the other two files. So to do that, go ahead and get another USB drive or use the same one, and just make sure you format it so you are wiping all of the data that was originally on it. And you also have to format it the first time to update the MCU. And also another thing to note is you cannot have any folders in this USB drive. If you put the files in a folder, then it will not work. The other two files are called Gemini and ISP boot. Basically, you just put those in the root of the USB drive, which means there are no folders containing them. And also make sure they are unzipped or extracted. Then with the unit powered off, go ahead and plug the USB drive in. And right as you turn your car on, you're going to hold the menu button for 8 seconds or more. And it really helps if you have a USB drive that has a light on it so you can really see if it's working. But basically when you hold the menu button, you're going to wait for the light on the USB to start flashing rapidly, which basically means the unit is actually reading the data that is on the USB drive. And after you see it start flashing, go ahead and press the map button to get out of the full screen menu, because when you actually press menu, at least on my 2013 GS, I'll show you real fast, it brings up this screen. And because it brings up this screen, you cannot see any other screen. So what you want to do after you start to see the USB light hyper flash is you press the map button to get out of this, and then you hold it again to actually switch to the screen. And then if it actually worked correctly, you're going to see it say updating. It really only takes 2 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, but you'll see a status bar slowly go up. Then after it updates, it's going to restart itself and the software will be fully updated. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned it before, but what the software actually does is it gives you this mouse cursor here to actually make using it very easy, because before it just highlights things, and I'm not gonna lie, it's very difficult to use, so you definitely want to update the software. All right, now I'm going to show you Android Auto. Don't worry, I'm also going to show you Apple CarPlay as well. I just personally use a S24 Ultra, so that's why I want to show you this. The cursor works great as well. It's a little bit laggy, but no worse than the actual stock navigation. Everything's responsive. The way you scroll is you just hold down and you actually slide it. So it's very simple to use and does work great. The only con, and I don't know if other units do this as well, it's not really a problem in my opinion, but it might bother you, is as you can see when I'm on the stock navigation side on the right, it does still move the cursor here, and if I do click something, it can click something over here. Thankfully though, if you are controlling this side, it does not do that on the right side, because that would be pretty annoying. But either way, it's pretty simple. Obviously you have buttons here, you literally don't even need to use that. And also if you still want to use that, just hold map, get out of this, then go back here, and you're not going to click on anything. Then if you're done, hold map for 3 seconds again, and you're right back. It's like you didn't even do it. So that's literally the only con I can find with this. Literally Android Auto and Apple CarPlay both connect super fast. It's very responsive. Like I said, the cursor's a little bit laggy, but nothing else is. If I move around the map here, you can see how smooth this is. Like, it's actually such a great experience for literally just $200. Now, as promised, here is Apple CarPlay. I'm just using this old iPhone here. So it works great. Here's the cursor to just slide over. You just hold it and you just move over. Could not be any easier than that. Here's me going to this little part. Let's see, we can go to settings. I mean, you get it. It's smooth. Literally, I don't notice any lag other than just the joystick, the way it works. It's not the smoothest thing ever. But yeah, there's Apple CarPlay, and obviously completely wirelessly. All right, so it's been about 3 weeks since I installed the unit, and I've used it literally every single day, and it has been perfect. I actually recently just went on a 6-hour road trip, and I had it on the whole entire time, and not once did it overheat, turn off, or even switch, or literally do anything. My phone was connected the whole entire time. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but one of my favorite things about it is whenever you get in your car, if you have already connected your phone previously, literally just one time before, the second you get in your car, turn it on, and the stock navigation boots up, give it another 10 seconds and it will switch to the actual UI with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay ready to go. So you literally just get in your car, you don't have to press any button, you don't have to hold the map button down, literally do anything. It connects all by itself. It really could not be any more seamless or easy than that. So yeah, with all that said, if you do want to purchase this product after watching this video, I do have an affiliate link in the description. Now let me remind you, this video is not sponsored. I was not paid to make it, but I do have an affiliate link. So if you do want to buy it, please consider using that as it helps the channel out. And yeah, if you guys do have any questions regarding the installation, the unit itself, the software, literally anything, I will try my best to answer every single comment to help all of you out. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, please consider subscribing, liking the video, whatever. That just lets me know that you guys enjoyed this type of content. I basically make videos about my Lexus GS350 here. Eventually, I will make videos about other vehicles as well, but this is just what I have right now. And yeah, if you stayed till the end, you're a real one, and I appreciate you watching.